I was invited here to push a button, and I was told that Pat Cox would be doing the talking. But I should know by now that there is nothing like a free lunch. But indeed, well, I arrived here a year ago. Tomorrow, exactly a year ago. So you may think, oh, this guy is new to Ireland, which indeed is. A year ago sounds like yesterday, but I was already here 33 years ago. I started my career as a diplomat here in Ireland, as a trainee diplomat. So I was only here 6 months, but yet in these 6 months I managed to have a baby here. So my first daughter was born here. In these 33 years I've been back many times to Ireland because I got to like the country. In the few months that I was here, I got to like it so much I came back almost every year. And about a year ago, my daughter married an Irishman. And where do they live? In Brussels, in Dublin Street. So you see, I was a predestination to come back to the country. Soon after my arrival, I think I must have been here for about 2 months. My secretary got a phone call saying, there's a lady who wants to ask some questions about the Mont des Arts. Questions about the Mont des Arts. And can she come this afternoon? Well, I can never refuse a lady to come and talk to me. So I thought, what can I tell her? The only thing I can tell her is where the Mont des Arts is. I can show her a plan of Brussels, but nothing else. But quickly, as it was the afternoon, I didn't realize I was so quick. I looked up some stuff and indeed realized that the Mont des Arts had been developed in quite something different that it looks like now. And when they showed me in the afternoon, the lady came and she was with a gentleman, and they showed me this photograph. I thought, good heavens, never seen that before. And I think very few Belgians have seen that picture before. And that was indeed how the Mont des Arts looked in 1910. So how did it come? How did it come there in that condition and in that aspect? This was an area of Brussels, a mountain. Brussels is a mountainous area. It's 7 hills, and this in the Middle Ages was in fact, it was originally a Jewish neighborhood, and it had been flattened in the Middle Ages, not because it was Jewish, but because it was a derelict area. And so you were talking about a derelict mountain. The mountain, that very mountain in Brussels, became very derelict and had been left derelict for hundreds of years until we got this famous king, infamous as well, Leopold II. I will not go into why he was infamous, but he was famous for building a lot of buildings. The most beautiful buildings throughout Belgium, but especially in Brussels, have been built in King Leopold's time. So he was a big builder, he was a big urban developer, and there was this mountain, and he said, we have to do something about it. And we had indeed the international exhibition coming up, and it was developed in Le Mont des Arts. And there was indeed a little stream coming down the mountain, and he said, I want that to be developed in a beautiful park with monuments, with pieces of art all around. So the pieces of art still have to come anyhow. But as I said, in the Middle Ages, there was very little sense of renovation and national heritage that destroyed this whole neighborhood. And again, in the 1960s, we had the same kind of people, very little respect for national heritage. And the Mont des Arts, as you see it there, was completely flattened again, and it was replaced by concrete and blue stone and some trees. But it doesn't. If you go to Brussels and you want to find the Mont des Arts, and you have that in your mind, you may not find it because it does not look like that at all anymore. But if you get to see the picture of 1910, and maybe you should have an example somewhere, it really looks how it looked like in 1910. And I must say, when they showed me the picture, and so we were going to make a replica in Ireland, I thought, oh, this is never going to get anywhere. So there you are. It is there, and indeed, this is a man of vision. And when he has a vision, he does realize it. So you cannot believe how proud I am to be allowed to open this feature. It's probably the only, but it's the only European feature in this theme park. It's maybe the only European feature throughout Ireland. So being allowed to open a replica of a Belgian feature is really a great honor for me, and I'm honored to, for a country that I represent, and of course I do love, being able to open that to a country I do love is indeed a great honor, and I thank you, Jerry. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.